Well. Welcome back to Locker Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of Locker-Report.com. And you guys can reach out to me on any one of my social handles on Twitter at Locker_Report, Instagram, Lock Report 100, all small caps. On Facebook, LockReport.com, and also check out Locker Talk Podcast on Facebook. Well, I tell you, this NFL season is rolling right along, going fast as usual, but at the same time, it's still exciting. The best part about this season is that the NFL Regional Combine players are playing above and beyond what they was expected to be. Now, the Regional Combine platform was established just to help teams to pretty much add depth to their roster. But now when these players get into the league, these hungry, these once unknown players, all they needed was just an opportunity to get on the field to show what they can do. And not only these guys just start off to be role players, but a lot of these players are starting to become big time players that's playing a major role in helping their teams win and secure victories. And that's the best part. Just give someone an opportunity, let them have that opportunity, and they rolling with it. And that's what these players from the NFL Regional Combine are doing. Now, here we go. Week 12 in the NFL, a lot to get to. Preview-wise, just see how these players are going to match up. Or better yet, just check out these matchups to watch out for. But Thanksgiving always starts the week off and for week 12 of the NFL, and kicking off with two big games where two NFL Regional Combine pioneers really showcase their talent. So we're going to start off week 2 about their performance, and then we're going to get right into what to expect for the rest of week 12. Now, Thanksgiving Day is always a special day, especially in all the households around the country because, hey, we have football. And so we're always going to see the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys play. Now, in this matchup this year, unfortunately, the home teams did not bring home wins. However, the opposing team had Regional Combine players on there that starred and shined out. But we're going to start first with the Houston Texans. Now, we've been talking about Terrell Adams for the whole season, basically. And each week we talked about how this young man is really getting out there, taking the opportunity to really show that he can be a major player in this league. But right now, primarily for the Houston Texans, he's been leading this team in tackles for several weeks in this league, and he still continues to do so. But Thursday against the Detroit Lions, not only did he have a stellar game, but he also set the team single game record of 17 tackles. Yes, 17 tackles. 1-7. That's how many tackles he had in one game. And 14 of those were all solo tackles. So I don't have just his numbers right there tell you that he was all over the place. But in this game, he also forced 2 fumbles in this matchup. First fumble came in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 31 seconds when the Lions was on their 23-yard line, when the ball carrier took the ball handoff from Matthew Stafford, tried to bounce to the outside, shot the B gap to get into the lane. That's when you saw it. Terrell Adams come by on his right-hand side and strip the ball as he was tackling, bringing him down. And then after that turnover, next series over, Terrell Adams did it again, forced another fumble, and that fumble came out at the right time, right before the player knee hit the ground. It had to be reviewed. At first, they thought the ball was that the player was down, but he was not. After further review, found out the last second that Terrell Adams did punch that ball out, made the ball start to come free, and that's when the Houston Texans was able to regain the ball. His plays actually ignited the Texans' ability to really blow this game out. And that's when, from that point on, with his heroics, with his stops, his tackles, his aggressiveness, the Houston Texans was able to go out there on the field and take command and win their game to put themselves, or let's keep themselves relevant in hopes of gaining a playoff spot. So good game for the Houston Texans, but led by Terrell Adams. His record-setting day of tying the franchise record of 17 tackles, and the ones that had garnered those numbers before. First time was Jamie Collins in 2003 when he did it twice in one season, and Brian Cushing did it in 2014. And after the game, Adam, definitely as humble as he always is, really just came out and just said, and I quote, "It's indescribable. Just thinking about my journey, high school, college, professional. I always kind I always kind of got my success on the back end. I always had to keep working to get to where I want to be, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. End quote. Adams, keep kicking butt out there, man. You doing your thing. Now, that was one great matchup. One great performance from one regional player. Then we're going to shift to the Dallas Cowboys and watch the Redskins game. In this game, we had our standout linebacker for the Washington football team, linebacker Cole McCombs. He himself was all over the field as well. He wound up racking up 10 tackles in this matchup, and he also was able to get a sack in this game as well. Flying right up the middle, lined up on the right-hand side. As you see, he rolls with a little stunt up into the middle, getting right into Andy Dalton's face to be able to bring down that sack. Yes, it counted as a half a sack, but it's still a sack regardless. So the pressure that he had put on for his teammate was able to bring that down. That was a sign to come as well for the Washington team to dominate this Dallas Cowboys team. So Colt McCombs led his team in tackles with 10, and Adams led his team in tackles with 17. Now, that was what happened in Week 12 to start. Now we're going to get to some plans, or better yet, we're going to get to some workouts. Better yet, we're going to get to some matchups on some players to watch out for during this Week 12 matchup in the NFL. Now, we're going to start with, first of all, will there be a Vincent Smith signing? Vincent Smith is a wide receiver for the New York Jets. He only caught one pass so far this year for 13 yards. He's definitely overdue to get some more opportunities with the ball. They're going to go up against the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins cornerback Nick Needham has been on fire. Chances are that these guys will meet down the line in this game. They're going to cover each other somehow. Nick Needham plays the deep ball very well, and Vincent Smith is definitely a deep ball threat. So let's continue. Let's see if Vincent Smith if they would at last get him involved in this matchup. But at the same time, let's see how Nick will continue to show his dominance as a great addition for that secondary for the Miami Dolphins. Now, F.A. Abate. Now listen, he's been on a roll. The last 2 weeks, he's been a sack monster. Sacked Tom Brady in week 10. Had 2 sacks last week. Let's see if he can get another sack this week. Let's see if he'll bring down Kirk Cousins when the Panthers have to go up against the Minnesota Vikings. And also in that matchup, Adam Thielen didn't have his best. Didn't have his best game a couple of weeks ago or last week. But let's see how he get back on track going against the Carolina Panthers. Kenny Moore II versus well, I don't want to say versus because King Henry, Derrick Henry, running back for the Tennessee Titans, is a load. But Kenny Moore is not afraid. He's definitely going to shine. Definitely going to put his best foot forward and help supporting the run like he always do for the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts going to take on Tennessee Titans. Let's see how Kenny Moore will match up in that game as he continues to give great run support, get to the quarterback, and also not being fearless going against any ball carrier in the league. Let's see if this whole thing will continue on. Now, the Buffalo Bills, they get to host the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Los Angeles Chargers, we know they got the deep ball threat there with Tyrod Johnson. Can he catch another deep ball in this game? Most likely probably will. Let's see if he catch one of those deep balls to get into the end zone. And Villanueva, left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens game, as you know, got pushed to Tuesday night, pure NFL network, but he's going to play. Let's see how he continues to be able to uphold against that Ravens front seven. He has always been successful going up against the Ravens front seven. Let's see him continue to do so, as he pretty much is one of the best offensive linemen that has ever came through the NFL Regional Combine platform. Nick Mullins and San Francisco 49ers coming back off a bye. The 49ers lost their 2 games prior going to their bye week. Let's see what they have done during that time. Let's see Nick come out, play hard as he usually has. Fearless guy. He will stand in the pocket, take those hits. He's not going to back down. He's always going to be in there to give his best. Let's see how the 49ers will roll against this hot Los Angeles Rams team. Right now, Nick Mullins have a completion percentage of 67%, 3 for 1,390 yards, 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Let's see how they continue to roll. And to wrap everything up, Robert Tonyan Jr., tight end for the Green Bay Packers, going up against the Chicago Bears. This young man got across the goal line again against the Indianapolis Colts last week in Week 11. Let's see if he continues to do so. This weekend, folks, Week 12 is loaded with great action from the NFL Recent Combine platform. Make sure that you guys stay tuned. Don't get familiar later, get familiar now as we look at NFL stars of tomorrow today. I'm your host, Barry Bonds, founder and CEO of Locker-Report.com. And make sure you guys check out the site, Locker-Report.com. Follow me on all my social handles on Twitter, Locker_Report, Instagram, LockReport100, all small caps, Facebook, LockReport.com, and Locker Talk Podcast. The YouTube page is ready to come up, so make sure you guys subscribe to follow this NFL news that you will not hear anywhere else. Everyone stay blessed. We'll talk to you when we review what happened in Week 12 in the NFL. Talk to you soon.